So I've been playing ranked FragPunk a little bit too much, ladies and gentlemen, to a point where I'm in the top 1,000 in the game. Seriously, I cannot get off this game. I'm stupidly addicted. But with that being said, I have got a lot of knowledge now in this game. And today, in this video, I'm going to be doing a tier list and ranking what I believe is S tier all the way down to the lowest grade. So let's see what I think is the best and the worst Lancers in FragPunk. And I weren't kidding. I need to get a flipping life. Honestly, I play this far too much. So as we can see here along the bottom, we have got all the Lancers in the game. And I want to see what is going to be the best. I don't know how to rate them. To start off with, we're going to be going over Brooker. Now, he is definitely not the best nor the worst in this game. He's got obviously his three abilities, which is one, using a rocket launcher. Now you can see if you hit a direct target, it is an instant kill. But if you hit anywhere near it, it's not good enough. It doesn't do nowhere near as much damage. Now, I will say, if I look at the leaderboard as Brooker, or Brooker, however you want to call him, I am ranked 98 in the world as him. But I am no longer using him because he is not really that valid for me anymore, considering as a side weapon you can actually have a smoke grenade, and I was mainly using him so I can go ahead and plant. Now, I would only use him in certain areas now where I need to get smoke around a corner, because his smoke, you can bounce it off of objects. You can, like, for instance, throw it high, throw it low, and in the trail that coin travels, it does create smoke. So it can be good for using it to bounce it off a wall to make a bend in the smoke trail, but it is easily removed. So if someone throws a grenade, the smoke disappears. And considering if you have a teammate that goes ahead and uses their E, the smoke screen, this one right here, that completely cuts off your whole smoke. So it's really, really no good. But these are really good. These cherry bombs that he has, I do really like these, because let's say if you've got a plant, you can go ahead and use that to stop them from pushing so crazily, or you can even use it just to hold an angle. When you've got them activated, you can see if they're being destroyed by looking at your mini-map, and you'll see if they're pushing that way. So it is a good way of finding out what side they are if they're trying to sneak around you. It can definitely cover off a site. Your smoke's still viable. He's not the best, but he's definitely not the worst Lancer there is in this game. So where would I rank him? So to rank him, because obviously I'm 98 in the world, would I go A? Now, he has got smoke, good for planting, but remember the weapon we have got, which can deploy smokes. So I'm not going to use him for that. I'm going to go, he's bang average. He was really good in lower ranks when people couldn't one-tap you. But in higher ranks, everyone's got a sniper. You peek that little bit around the corner, you are dead. So the next one we're going to move over to is Nitro. Now, Nitro is very interesting, but it definitely needs to be used correctly. You can't literally just run around running and gunning with Nitro. Nitro is very defense heavy. Now, she can be used for attack because she can obviously get sight, which is really good for team comp, but for a solo, not too great. She's great on defense as a solo, but as an actual attacking operator, she hasn't got much offensive capabilities. If we look at the chug here, you go ahead and you place it down. Now, you can control this. The great thing about this is if you're in a team, just using this alone is like having a free radar, because you can send it around a corner, ping whilst on that drone to let your teammates know. And if you're communicating with them verbally, you can literally go, there's one round the corner, tight right, or he's far back left corner. You know, you can even get them pings off while you're in it. You might be able to get valuable information. Then this is probably one of her best things that she has, which is the wall. As you can see here, the wall can be used. You can use it up to 2 floors. You can jump on it. You can do whatever you want. But this wall can be used to create some serious advantages. So there's a lot of walls in this game that you can't see over because they're just far too high. But you can actually stack these walls on top of each other like you saw in that little clip there. And you can jump onto the second one, which actually look over a very tall wall, meaning you can look along lanes, which makes her very, very good for defense. Then using her last ability, which you see are the little turrets. Now, these little turrets are good for one, for notifying you if there's an enemy pushing one angle, because it works just like the Brookers or Brookers, where you can see if they've destroyed it in that angle, or if it gets hit off, then you can see it hitting that enemy. Even if you're using it to push, it is really good for pushing, because let's say I want to go around this corner, but I can't see what is around it. But what I could do is I could throw the turret on the floor. It's either one, going to get shot, or it's going to shoot. It only can see what is in its line of sight. Now, the radius isn't massive, but it's enough to cover most rooms in this game. So it is a very, very, very good Lancer. Where would we rank it, though? So to rank her, I might have to go... Oh, she's close to S tier. Really close to S tier for defense. But because we can't use her that well on attack, I'm going to have to go with A. She's definitely above Brocker, that's for sure. Now, I might rejiggle these as it comes to the end when we see a little bit more and I figure out, and I might just make some few tweaks. Maybe he goes down, maybe she goes up, but let's continue. So the next one is Hollow Point. A seriously used Lancer in this game because of her flipping sniper. That thing is an absolute beast. It hits like a flipping truck. As you can see, it uses a single shot railgun with variable optics, and it is pretty darn strong. It is great as well because you've always got a sniper rifle. As you know, if you die twice, you lose that variation of weapon. So if I died twice using a sniper rifle, I can no longer have a sniper rifle. There's a fly flying around. But with using Hollow Point, you've always got a sniper rifle, and you can always have a machine gun or whatever a gun you want in your hand, a shotgun, you name it. You've always got that option, which makes it really cool. And like I said, the sniper is pretty strong. Not only that, though, as you can see here on the key wording, and detects enemies in the field of view. So this is a massive counter to Zephyr, the invisible lady, because if you are using that sight, you can see her even though she's invisible, which is huge. That is a really big counter to Zephyr, and Zephyr is a great Lancer, but if you've got a Hollow Point or a good Hollow Point on their team, watching an angle, you will not be able to sneak past the angle, providing Hollow Point's looking down it. So yeah, Hollow Point's pretty good. And then her E, she's got a smoke screen here. Using her E, what it does, it fires a smoke screen forwards, and everyone it passes through. So not only does it give you cover moving up to an objective, it doesn't, obviously people could shoot for it, but it stops line of sight. While it's moving up, it also detects everyone that it passes through. It's really good. And then her paparazzi, this one that we see here, she throws down little mines, good for sectioning off an area and making sure people don't come behind you. Or if you know someone's about to push you, place them down, and if it sticks to them, you have got an unlimited knowledge of where they are. As you can see, they glow and they stay glowed for the whole period of time until they hold the F button or whatever button it is if you're watching this console, until they remove it. So yeah, that's Hollow Point, and you can only imagine what Hollow Point is doing and where she's going. S tier, definitely S tier. Hollow Point is seriously insane. Now, the next one I haven't really used, as you can see, level 1, Jaguar. I've definitely gone against Jaguars and they're really good. This is someone I can't really rank. I have used absolutely everyone apart from Jaguars. We can see the levels on all of them. I have used all of them, but I have not used Jaguar. Now, I do know Jaguar is really good because he deploys an electric trap here and deals damage and slows nearby enemies that we can see here. He throws that on the ground, and if someone walks over it, it damages them really, really quick. And obviously it shows you where they are. So it's a great little tripwire. Then his second ability, as we can see, summons an electrical cage, but it lets you know where the enemies are as well, which is pretty cool. It blocks obviously their vision, and then you can see for miles, which is this one. So you detect the enemies. Then once you detect them, it puts the cage around them. And if they are in the cage, it also highlights where they are. So we can see that he is in that cage because he's been detected. We can see his full whereabouts, which is pretty huge, pretty good Lancer, very underrated. Now, I haven't used him, so I can't give him the highest tier, but I would almost go for highest tier. I'm actually going to go A with Jaguar. If you disagree, then let me know in the comments down below. But I can't really go higher only because I haven't used him. I've used everyone else but him. Right, Chum. Chum's a very odd one. Now, I have a lot of love and a lot of hate for Chum. He is good, but he's still not incredible. Now, his chomper, as we know, is pretty cool. You can use it in multiple ways. If you use it without feeding it or without doing anything to it, what would happen is he will stay in an area and patrol that area. Yet again, great for leaving on a site if you're going to leave that site, because you can see if someone goes there, and the chomper does replenish itself. So if you do go ahead and place the chum on the ground, it will literally stay there, and you can drop another one. You can have multiple. It's completely up to you. So that is a pretty cool thing. Now you can also feed it mines, the bait. You can throw the bait and use them as tripwires, or you can feed it to chum, and chum can charge at an enemy and blow them up. Then you've got the other one, which is the smoking bait, which you can use as a standalone smoke grenade. Really good. Or you can feed it yet again to chum, and when you place chum down, you can direct the smoke in its travel. So as long as you're holding the prompt key, you can literally look in the direction it will move chum around. So you can actually make a giant circle around you of smoke. You can make a smoke trail all the way to the bait. So it could be really good. Chum is a little bit underrated, but then he is not incredible. He's slightly missing the mark. The trip mines, now they do hurt, but they don't kill. They don't do enough damage in my eyes. Look at the damage that happens here when it targets. 92 damage. That is really good. That was used directly on it. Normally you get 40s if they're not directly on it. Now you can stack them. So if you do use a chum, and you imagine like a cap can in a Rainbow Six, what you would do is at a door you'd place 2. You'd place multiple. So if they walk through that door, they will get blown up if they don't see them. Now the laser is pretty prominent, so it's not as easy to do. And then chum, he's more of a stationary lancer that will hold a back line and find out where the enemy are and hopefully deal a little bit of damage. So he is good, not a pusher, more defensive than offensive. So for him being mainly defensive, I'm gonna go for B with chum. Now if I could put it in the middle, I would put it in the middle, but for me it's going to be a B. So the next one we've got is Corona. This is a pretty good lancer. Show what, they're all pretty good. They're all very unique, but also very similar. They're not too massively game changing. Now Corona can be a game changer if someone really knows how to use him. I've gone against Coronas and they've absolutely deleted me because they've broken my camera and they've blinded the hell out of me. So if you've got a really good Corona on your team, you're probably going to win. But is he S tier? So what is his ability? So we know he's got the fast lane. So when he presses a Q, he dashes forward. Now it doesn't do any damage, the dash, but you can combine it with the T, which is the hothead. So after a short charge, blinds all enemies looking directly at you. Now what does this mean? Well, if you peek a corner slowly or a normal pace, you're probably going to get sniped. But if you do your Q and you can dash around the corner, the chance of someone tracking you and shooting you is going to be very hard. Pair that up with your T, because if you press your T, you can see there's a countdown here. And then Q at the right moment, go round the corner, flash them. They'll never be able to track you and you should be able to get the kill. Not only that, if they're behind a wall, most walls you'll be able to jump over rather than to the side. People predict you to go left or right, but they don't ever really predict you going up. So you could use Corona to press the blind, time it, jump up, blind everyone in the area. Their whole faces are lit up if they've been blind, as you can see there. And then you can just absolutely blitz them. Also, that his E is really good. It is a flame grenade, which is good at holding off areas because people don't really want to push through it. Not only that, you get a damage reduction and a speed boost if you're on it. So if you're holding a point, this is really good, and it replenishes itself. So Corona actually for me is going S tier because he's got the defensive capabilities and offensive capabilities. He can do both defense and offensive pretty darn well. Now going back, the next one that we've got is Serket. As we can see here, vision control, area delay, and teleportation. It starts off with the first ability, station to station. Now what this ability does, essentially you become a little orb and you float around the sky, and as you can see, whilst she was in the orb, you see all these little tornadoes. These tornadoes are people. Now they can shoot your orb. You don't have to teleport, you can actually cancel it. So this can be really good for seeing what is around the corner if there's enemies there, because it guarantees enemies, and it guarantees you not dying, because even if they destroy your orb, it just cancels it out. So it's really good. It's a good way of getting information back to your team. And if there is no one there, well, bonus, you might have even made it so you can get behind the enemy line. Now you can get behind the enemy line with this, and there's a very good way to do so. For one, your teammate could smoke the area out, or you could smoke the area out with a smoke grenade, Or you can go ahead and use your E, which releases a dust tornado that moves forward slowly, slowing enemy in range. You can walk through this, but rather than walking through it, why don't you pair the station to station this and the tornado? So let off your tornado, turn into the orb, follow through your tornado, slowly peeking out and having a look to see if there's enemies there, and then teleporting to it. It's a really good way. Not only that, you've got Dilemma here, which is really good, which throws a gadget that drags enemies into rage towards it. If you've ever been caught by a Dilemma, have you been able to get out of it? It is so flipping hard. You have to charge up your knife and flipping fly out in one direction. This thing is insane. Really, really good. Serket as herself is really good as an operator. Now, would I put her as S tier? Very close. Yet again, if I could, I would put her in the middle. But in this case, I'm going to have to go for A. But I would put her mid A, S. Because if someone uses her properly, she's definitely S tier. Moving on to the next one, we got Paragen. Paragen is one that I use a lot in the beta. Really like Paragen because she's got some really good capabilities for herself and for the team. So firstly, we've got Emotional Rescue. This is a device that you throw down a load of fungi on the floor and it heals you, but not only you, it heals your team, and you can stack them. So I can throw 2 down and get even more heals for either me or my team. So it's basically like a dock in Rainbow Six. Something that's really good and really needed in the game, and I really, really rate it. Not only that, you got Shroom Wall here that we can see erects a destructible fungus wall on the ground or in a doorway. So as we're seeing here in this display, you can use the wall in a standalone area, but what is not being displayed is if you place it against a door, it will completely block off that door so no one can push through it. Super cool, super good, really good for your team. And then lastly for her, she's got the Killer Queen, which is a throwable trap that can be activated manually or triggered when an enemy approaches. And basically what this trap does is it's just a good way of blocking off an area. Now you can put it on a doorway. You can even use it for an attack. Throw it into the attacking area. See if there's someone's around the corner, because it's got quite a large radius. It could be used both defensive and attacking. Now you can pair this up with putting it behind a wall. So people, even if they shoot you, they're probably not going to look down. You can see it. It's a tiny little like thing on the floor. You can't really see it here, but it is a really, really good trap to have. Pathogen with the healing as well. She's got the chemical romance. Pathogen is immune to poison damage, meaning if they've got a pathogen on their team, normally what pathogens do is they go and put the Killer Queen on top of the bomb. So if they plant the bomb, then they put the Killer Queen on top of it, or even if they see the diffuser drop, they drop it on top of it. So if the enemy push into it, they're going to get hit, or if they're trying to defuse, they're going to get hit. Now, Pathogen's the only one who can not get hit by this damage. You can walk into it. So let's just say the bomb is down, I can still defuse it without taking damage, which is really, really good. For that reason, Pathogen, for having all them capabilities, I'm going to put as S tier. I think really, really good for both defensive and offensive. Definitely one I would be looking to use if you aren't using her already. Right, so the next one we're going to go on to is Zephyr. Zephyr is one that I've been using a lot recently yet again. Really, really good. We got Midnight Rambler, enter optical cloaking mode. Only melee weapons are usable in the state. So technically what you do is you become invisible. And when you become invisible, your footsteps can be heard if you're walking at normal speed. And if you right click to their back, it's a one-shot, one-kill. Now, you can be detected by certain things like I had said before, and they can shoot you when you're invisible. They can hear you, and when you get close to them, if you are in their line of sight, it will appear on their screen as a red marker. Zephyr is close, danger close. But if you're behind them, it won't show up that you are close. It's a good way to sneak up on them. Really, really good. Then her E, Fade Away, which creates an area where she's fully invisible during her Midnight Rambler, and her cloaking time is unlimited in this area, but temporarily disables whenever she's attacked. So yet again, your shield disables, but it doesn't last forever. It just means that if you are in that area whilst invisible, it's gonna do really well. As you can see, walk back in, it stops it. So really good for defending or even planting, because you can basically sneak past enemy lines with this invisibility. That's why I'm using her a lot recently, because now I'm a main objective player. I'm mainly planting. I'm literally running through enemy lines invisible and getting that bomb down. Really, really good. And before you go into action, you go ahead and put your get back on. So what you do is you go and put a beacon down. You saw that little butterfly beacon. Just say you've gone to an area and you're in danger now in that area. You can just teleport back and get back out there, or teleport to where you want to go. If you're at one site and you want to go defend the other, well, you go defend this one. And if they go, hey, there's someone over here, teleport all the way back and get back to the other side. So Zephyr, for me, is a really good. I don't know. Would I say she's S tier? She's got a lot of counters, because you've got a lot of these traps that are on the floor and you can't shoot them whilst invisible, because if you get into their range, they're going to prop. So for that, I wouldn't give her S tier. I'll give her A tier. I think she's still really, really good. Right, let's go over again. Now we're going to look at Spider. A lot of people are going to hate me for this, saying Spider is goddamn awful. If you've got a team that's communicating, Spider can be one of the best lancers in the game. Now, you got this. The place two teleporters, a Spider can recall them remotely. So you can use this. You can place it in one spot and then have it in the other spot. So if you're attacking enemies here, where it's attacking, you can make a load of noise here and then fast travel through back to the other place. So everyone goes, they're all on B, and then you all go to A just by teleporting through his teleporters. You can also use this teleporter. Let's just say I'm behind a door and I've got a box there and I want to get behind that box without being seen. Well, you've still got a little bit of range in it, so I could probably do that, fast travel through it and break the enemy's line of sight where they're holding that angle, but now I'm at this angle, so I've kind of like got past them. You can't go too far. You saw then like the distance you could travel, but it is really good. Now E is the one that is absolutely hilarious and absolutely insane if you've got someone who knows what they're doing with it. So what you do essentially is you throw down an orb which creates a warp zone on the floor. If enemy targets are in that warp zone, it teleports them to you. There's a little danger sign on the floor and they will teleport to that danger sign. Now you don't know if you've latched onto them, but what you do is once you fire this off, you pull out your knife or your axe and you charge that bad boy up. You stand there, and if they teleport through, you let go of that charge and you just one shot whoever's ever coming through. So if you got one person, two person, three person, or a whole team, you will one shot all of them. Spider is really darn good for that. Not only that, you've got your T, which is a spider web. You place a trap wherever suits you best, and if someone walks into it, it completely blinds them for a good period of time. They can see their hands, they can see the sky, but who's going to be right underneath them? Really, really good tool. Spider for me is a top tier lancer, really underused, and I reckon if and when there's Pro League, Spider will be one of the most used lancers just for team compatibility. But with how good I am at him, I'm probably have to go for an A. Now we've only got 3 left and we've got none in C or D. Eesh, am I going to have to rejiggle these? Right, coming back to the game. Let's go to Kismet. Kismet. Yet again, absolutely goated. Kismet's got hello, goodbye, scans enemies in front of you within a range of Kismet's exposing them. So you basically do that and you can see the circle starts from just in front of you about 1 meter. Now anyone in that area will be exposed and you can see where they are, which is really good. Basically you can look through walls, but only walls that are close to you. Then you've got Misery Angel, which is a grenade. Now, a lot of people don't use this grenade correctly. This grenade can explode through walls. So if you know someone is standing at the other side of the wall, you can throw the grenade at the floor, this side of the wall, and it will blow them up on that side of the wall. It's really, really good. Then you've got Walk on the Wild Side, which enters a Rift Walk mode, becoming invisible and invulnerable, but unable to see other lancers. So it works like serket. You can go invisible, get behind the enemy, but the problem is you can't see if anyone's on it. You can hear them, you can hear their footsteps and their shots, etc., but you cannot see them. So it is really good at breaking the enemy line. It doesn't travel too far, but I've been killed by Kismet a lot, and it's probably one of the highest picked. That's why I've not been able to use her that much in rank. She's picked all the time because she is OP if used correctly. So Kismet, bam, S tier. Right, we're moving over to Axon. Now, I haven't used Axon much, so we can see level 2, but lot of potential. Now I'm getting into the higher ranks. He's definitely become more and more needed. So for one, you can see he's got an electric guitar, which turns your guitar into a shotgun. And if you right click, you throw sticky bombs immediately, which is really good. The sticky bombs do bounce, so they can bounce off of walls. And if they do stick on someone, they will blow up. And the sticky bombs do a lot of damage. You can see here, that was just 2 bombs. 2 bombs cause a full death. I don't believe they do. I think it's a bit more. Anyway, regardless of that, it's a really good thing because you've basically got a shotgun at all times, so you can always hold a tight angle. And it does have a little bit of range. But then the E is the sticky fingers, throwing bouncy sticky grenade. You can see here, 2 grenades hitting. They didn't kill. See, that's what I'm saying. They do about 100 damage. I can't see how before that them 2 actually killed. The person must have been weak. It does about 3 kills someone, but these replenish themselves, and I think you start off with like 15 of them. So you immediately can just hold an angle. Let's just say you know someone's coming through a door or someone somewhere. You just throw a load of grenades. Someone's on a site defending a bomb. Just throw loads of grenades. Get them off. But I think one of his most important skills coming to late game is this. His T. So I don't know if you've ever used ward in the likes of Rainbow. Yeah, ward can see through smoke, but this can make it so you're not blind. So as you can see, you've got the blinding character Corona, but you could effectively have a flashbang. If you want to push a corner, flash the corner with your T activated, and you walk around as it goes off. They'll be blind, and you'll have full vision. Free kill. Really good. And you've got a shotgun, so you can blind, pull out your shotgun, and make sure you're not blind at the same time. The giant W. Axon's really good. Really underrated. I'm gonna have to go A. I think it's really good and really underrated. I think the balance in this game is really good. Last but not least, sonar. Sonar, as you can see, area delay and detection. It's got echolocation. This one here. What you do is you put down a beacon, and in this beacon it pulses out every 3 seconds. 1, 2, yeah, about every 3 seconds. And if someone's moving when that pulse goes past them, like a sonar in real life, it will detect that there is something there because it's hitting an object on its travels. So it's weird how it doesn't react when someone's not moving, but it does react as long as they are moving. But they can move, stop, move, stop. So it can be countered. Then you got your sonic surge, which launches a sonic wave that exposes all enemy it hits, and you can charge it up to get it even further, which is really good. I didn't realize it actually done any damage, so now I know. I don't think I've ever landed this, so that's really cool. And then was OP in the beta. I loved sonar in the beta because the sound of silence. You could basically give yourself silent footsteps. In the beta, it lasts a little bit longer, or because you move so much faster, you can make real good flanks with it. I don't think it's really that viable anymore. Sonar would have been a top tier character. I mean, she's still really good for stopping a hard push, but just not quite kicking it for me. Do I think she's chum or Brocker? Yeah. See, so I've got nothing in C or D. If I had to arrange this so I had one in everything, and I was to go most OP to least OP, I would probably start doing this. I would probably... No, she's going to have to stay up there. Because I don't know him, I'd bring him down there. Oh, see, this is so hard. Because his skill is so hard, I'd probably put him somewhere here because a lot of people won't really know how to use Spider. A lot of people might be able to use Axon. Who else is really hard? Joe, in terms of difficulty, I'd probably put Spider at the bottom. So if you can't land your E, he's really no good. I mean, you have got your spider trap and you have got your teleportation, so he's really only good for a team. Oh, that's tough. Who would I say is the worst in the whole entire game? I don't think there's actually a worst. I would just say it's more difficulty based than worse, because they're all really good and they're all very balanced. Worst might even have to be Brocker, just because that rocket launcher is pointless when you get to high ranks. Really good low ranks, but high ranks absolutely pointless. Yeah, I think this is pretty solid. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I might share this on YouTube and see what you guys think in the post. Type me comments in the chat down below, and I'm also going to post it up there. What's your thoughts? Like, follow, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.